Valve releases a sharp jet of pressurized water into the dark sun. A constant stream of industrial condensate drips slowly from the overhead pipe hanger flames. You monitor the steady deflection on the mechanical pressure indicators of the main line. My knuckles rest against the cold iron casing of the central filtration manifold unit. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Raw concrete drainage chamber now. The slow rotation of the discharge spindle governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick stone conduit shelters our fragile frames. The drifts from the lower XX hatch frame. The internal copper cores of the auxiliary bilge pump motor retain the day's heavy thermal load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you slide the heavy safety lock and collar down. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building The dual pressure indicators on the intake manifold display a sudden drop in the grid line. I sink directly into the wide negative space between the stereo separation nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these dark retaining walls. Only the continuous physical movement of the fluid along the ancient pipeline. Maintains a massive mechanical holding force inside the primary ram. A thin layer of pressurized petroleum oil coats the dark rubber seals of the main cylinder rod. You monitor the steady gauge deflection of the hydraulic fluid reservoir temperature indicator. Of the high pressure solenoid valve housing. The current shifts within the copper core and that old tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Fluid pressures battle heavy friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure that the heavy corrects within this raw concrete machinery. Of the hydraulic fluid governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick steel structural frame shields our fragile frame. Our fragile frame. Machine lubricant and synthetic oil drifts from the bleed line manifold. The internal stator coils of the auxiliary pressure pump motor retain the day's heavy thermal loads. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you secure the heavy high tensile connection coupling. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructural. The current shifts within the copper core and that old tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Fluid pressures balance the air friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this raw concrete machinery room now. The slow contraction of the hydraulic fluid governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick steel structural frame shields our fragile frame. Our fragile frame. steel housing vibrates with the constant surge of high voltage line. A low electric permeates the dry cement foundation of the regional grid terminal. You monitor the steady temperature expansion within the main transformer radiator fence. My knuckles rest against the cold grounding wire connected to the substation frame. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signals start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Singing frequencies balance the electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex charge distribution corrects within this heavy concrete shelter now. The slow vibration of the voltage regulator governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick steel enclosure protects our fragile frame. Ooh, 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 yeah, ooh. A sharp scent of heated petroleum dielectric oil drifts from the relief valve ports. The internal copper coils of the auxiliary generator retain the day's heavy thermal load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you calibrate the output face selector link. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within a copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signals start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Singing frequencies balance the electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex charge distribution corrects within this heavy concrete shelter now. The slow vibration of the voltage regulator governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick steel enclosure protects our fragile frames. Ooh, 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 yeah, ooh, yeah. The heavy steel transmission lattice hums under the silent load of the high voltage lines. A low electric resonance permeates the damp concrete foundation of the primary grid pier. You track the constant current attenuation on the high gain frequency frequency monitoring panel. My knuckles rest against the cold protective zinc coating of the main grounding strap. Current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies.
Curated frequency balance the electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex energy gradient corrects within this isolated transmission grid now.
Oh, yeah. The slow contraction of the overhead copper wire governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thin concrete base shelters our fragile frame. Yeah. A sharp odor of heated transformer mineral oil drips from the high expansion port. The internal copper windings of the primary generator core retain the day's heavy load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you calibrate the output balance control switch. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure rope. Current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky.
Distance frequency balance the electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex energy gradient corrects within this isolated transmission grid now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The slow contraction of the overhead copper wire governs our physical position in space. Yeah, yeah. A perfect boundary where the thick concrete base shelters our fragile frame. Yeah. Under the static weight of the heavy chemical that a thin layer of orange oxide flaking slowly onto the damp concrete floor below. You track the constant strain on the overhead metal track and pulley wheel assembly. My knuckles rest against the cold zinc frame of the inactive hoisting lever shaft. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Corrosive friction balances the heavy mass of our private sector tonight. auxiliary power winch retain the day's heavy load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you lock the secondary safety cable clamp. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies. Corrosive friction balances the heavy mass of our private sector tonight. Every complex tension different mass of corrects within this empty loading bay now. The slow contraction of the overhead ion beam governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick steel scaffolding platform shelters a fragile frame. The dual tension indicators on the main cable display a sudden drop in the load line. I sink directly into the wide negative space between the stereo separation nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these cold industrial structures. Only the continuous physical movement of the dust particles settling in the dark. Massive steel truss vibrates slowly with the constant wind load from the river. The deep metal friction hums directly through the heavy iron plate and river connections. You track the constant displacement indicators on the structural alignment laser gauge. Against the cold protectives encoding of the main tension member. The current shifts within the copper core. The tension builds within this colossal steel frame network now. Ooh, slow deflection of the heavy metal beam governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick iron doors shelter our fragile frames. The sharp odor of heated metal scale and heavy bearing grease drips from the expansion track. The internal copper coils of the automatic warning beacon retain the day's solar load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you check the mechanical vibration sensor cable. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. Watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies. Resonating structures balance the cold physical friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex energy gradient corrects within this colossal steel frame network now. Ooh, the slow deflection of the heavy metal beam governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick iron always shelter our fragile frames. Stress indicators on the main anchor display a sudden drop in the tension line. I sink directly into the wide negative space between the stereo separation nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these cold engineering structures. Only the continuous physical movement of the vibrations dissipating along the web. Heavy fluid moves slowly through the dark concrete. Conduit deep beneath the street. A thick layer of organic silt settles directly along the curved masonry joints of the channel. You track the constant velocity, deflection on the subsurface flow monitoring meter. My knuckles rest against the damp iron frame of the primary access shaft ladder. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Subsurface dynamics balance the wet mechanical friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this dark drainage infrastructure now. The slow vibration of the subterranean flow governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick stone conduit shelters our fragile frames. Scent of damp moss and mineral grease drifts from the lower overflow wheel. The internal winding coils of the automatic sluice gate actuator retain the day's heavy load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you slide the heavy safety locking clamp down. Find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure row. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Subsurface dynamics balance the wet mechanical friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this dark drainage infrastructure now. The slow vibration of the subterranean flow governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick stone conduit shelters our frames. Pressure valves on the main conduit display a sudden drop in the grid line. I sink directly into the wide negative space between the stereo separation nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these dark raining walls. Only the continuous physical movement of the sediment settling on the riverbed. massive reinforced concrete pillar cast, a static shadow across the empty loading bay. Cold mechanical draft flows steadily through the inactive overhead. Ventilation shutters. You monitor the gradual voltage stabilization on the heavy charger. Connection panel. My knuckles rest against the cold steel safety railing of the central inspection platform. The current shifts in the copper core, and idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise. Of industrial grease and damp concrete drifts from the lower cargo ramp. The internal copper cores of the inactive lift motor retain the day's heavy thermal load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you check the master circuit breaker. So we find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within the copper core, and idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Silence of our private zone, private sector tonight. Yeah. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this massive concrete terminal now. The slow rotation of the roof exhaust fan governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick stone columns shelter our fragile frames. hydraulic pressure of the passing cargo truck. A thick layer of wet sediment settles directly into the narrow masonry joint lines. You track the constant fluid velocity indicators on the drainage display screen. My knuckles rest against the cold iron surface of the heavy street access cover. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies. Balance the wet mechanical friction of our private set tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy stone foundation now. The slow contraction of the subterranean cable governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick concrete curve shelters our fragile frames. A faint scent of coal tar and damp gravel rises from the open trench section. The internal copper coil of the local distribution transformer retains the day's load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you calibrate the earth grounding wire. We find the red mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure. Shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies. Oh, low end vibrations balance the wet mechanical friction of our private sector tonight. Pressure differential corrects within this heavy stone foundation now. The slow contraction of the subterranean cable governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick concrete curve shelters our fragile frames. retains the heavy chemical trace of the daytime transport lines. A thin layer of dark moisture coats the steel structural bolts of the road drainage gate. You track the constant temperature drop on the portable environmental measurement gauge. My knuckles rest against the damn stone barrier supporting the elevated highway lane. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Static velocities balance the freezing friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy road infrastructure now. The slow vibration of the distant highway drainage governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick concrete walls shelter our fragile frame. Vulcanized rubber and asphalt ceiling rises from the expansion joint. The internal winding coils of the automatic traffic light sensor retain the day's load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you fasten the metal harness connector link. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Static velocities balance the freezing friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy road infrastructure now. The slow vibration of the distant highway drainage governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where the thick concrete walls shelter our fragile frame. Massive, reinforced concrete monolith reflects the cold structural pressure of the silent yard. A fine layer of gray limestone dust accumulates steadily along the dry expansion joint lines. You track the constant displacement indicator reading on the physical alignment micrometer dial. My knuckles rest against the cold cement surface surrounding the main retaining wall support. The current shift
Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy structural shelter now. The slow deflection of the foundation pile governs our physical position in space. The perfect boundary where the thick stone barrier shields our fragile frame.
A faint scent of damp masonry and old bearing grease drips from the lower ventilation shaft. The internal electrical windings of the drainage pump motor retain the day's heavy thermal load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you secure the heavy cable conduit grounding clamp. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructural. Oh, the current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signal start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning skies. Colossal masses balance the silent friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy structural shelter now. The slow deflection of the foundation pile governs our physical position in space. A perfect boundary where with a thick stone barrier shields our fragile frame. Dual pressure valves on the main conduit display, sudden drop in the grid line. I sink directly into the wide negative space between the stereo separation nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these dark retaining walls. Only the continuous physical movement of the sediment settling on the concrete bed. charge inside the dark terminal cabin. A constant micro discharge crackles slowly across the dry ceramic insulator mounting block. You track the constant current fluctuation on the analog galvanometer deflection scale. My knuckles rest against the cold steel grounding plate of the central distribution frame. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signals start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Static charging, balanced electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy concrete substation now. Static charges, balanced electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy concrete substation now. Varnish and ozone drips from the cooling conduit line. The internal magnetic windings of the main transformer core retain the day's heavy thermal load. Your fingers remain absolutely precise as you secure the copper busbar terminal clamp. We find a rare mechanical stability deep inside the central block infrastructure road. The current shifts within the copper core, an idle tension building on the floor. We watch the static signals start to rise beneath the gray expanse of morning sky. Static charges, balanced electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy concrete substation now. Static charges, balanced electric friction of our private sector tonight. Every complex pressure differential corrects within this heavy concrete substation now. The dual voltage indicators on the distribution panel drop to the baseline mark. I sync directly into the wide negative space between the stereo balance nodes. There is no poetic closure waiting for us inside these solid structural walls.